Job 30:30. My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat. Call Halal Yahweh Shem Abishai by Hashem Bakakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you, I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm coming at you with another lesson in truth, profiling once again. Part 4, the nations of the world, the Dutch Moorish Sephardic Atlantic trade. Video that was put up by Kudimero. And just going to let a little bit of this play a little bit more. As I stopped a little bit short on the last video. I should have let it play a little bit further. But here we go.
It says, though a mulatto of the fourth descent may vote at elections, yet the Jews, many of whom are mulattoes of that degree, are by our wise legislation absolutely excluded from that privilege, it being expressly enacted that they, said mulattoes, should enjoy all the privileges in ours. So that's something that was being written in 1720 from Kingston, Jamaica about them. It says, note the lack of stability in the Jews' color and the overlap of cultural and physiological otherness. Many of the Jews were mulattoes of the fourth degree, that is, very light-skinned blacks. Jews, light-skinned blacks, and hence should have been permitted to vote. But Jews were not Christians. Unlike mulattoes, the religious exclusion of Jews put them on the level of mulattoes and blacks. Jews both were and were not blacks, were and were not whites. These various views of Jews branded them in David Rodiger's terminology as not yet white.
And see, Esau was trying to play with skin tone, as if your skin tone made you another race. No, the Israelites it said that we're like the speckled bird, from a very, very light skin to a very, very dark chocolate. Can all be in the same family. A mother and father can have the children of the rainbow. I've seen it in Negro families and in so-called Puerto Rican families. They from dark like an African to light skin looking like what they refer to as a so-called mulatto. All in the same family, same mother and father. So these categories, that Esau likes to put people in, is all false. That's the accusers of our brothers. That word accusers in Revelation is talking categorized. So Esau likes to create narratives. False narratives, and then hold you to those narratives, but the narratives are false.
The Jewish gaze outward ramified significantly on internal perceptions as well. The effort to clarify the blackness of Jews helped shape some seminal moments in the development of Jewish autoethnography. All right, now I'm in the Jewish Virtual Library.org website, and this is regarding the term or words Arabai More, or the title Arabai More, right? Arabai More or Rabbi More, official title for the chief rabbi of Portugal from the 13th century. A letter sent by Alfonso III to the Municipal Council of Braganza shows that this office existed at least from 1278. Duties of the Rabbi More included supervision of the conduct of the rabbis and lay heads of the Jewish communities in Portugal. When he visited a community, any complaints made by its members were recorded in his presence. He was responsible for the property of orphans, whose guardians were answerable to him for any irregularities in their administration of the estates. The Rabbi More also examined the communal accounts and funds to prevent dissension among the communal officers. His authority was restricted. He was prohibited from choosing rabbis for the communities, from using communal resources against the wishes of the community, and from issuing privileges such as grants of exemption from.
Seems like the same thing that was going on in when you get to the book of Acts. All right, when the Hebrews and the Grecian issue. All right, that's what this rabbi was doing, the same thing, looking out for the children, looking out for the widows and his people. It's the same situation that was going on, and those Grecians that were murmuring and against the Hebrews and vice versa were Israelites, the Israelite foreigners coming back. They were still, same thing here with the rabbi, with the Morenos and the Moors. The Moors were still Israelites. All right. They just were following after Islam. They're still the same people by blood, race, Israel. All right. Muslim is a religion, not a nationality. Like you got this thing here in America among American Israelites called Nation of Islam. Islam is not a nation, it's a religion. Your nation is Israel, Israelite. All right? I get tired of talking to those guys, man.
Communal taxes or services. The Rabbi Moor had his special seal inscribed with the legend Sello do Rabbi Moor de Portugal. Alright, so remember that these Jews, right, these rabbis from Portugal were what? Very dark skin or what? Moorish, more so-called black. His official staff included a chancellor, auditor, secretary, and doorkeeper. In response to complaints lodged by the community of Lisbon against the Rabbi Moor Judah Cohen during the reign of John I, the king of...
I hope you viewers out there are screenshotting this so you can have it in your phones to pull out to read as a defense against the lies that are perpetrating, because this is written history that they just simply ignore. This is evidence that they try to block and keep out of court. All right.
Abrogated some of the privilege of the office. The last person to occupy it was Simon Miami, who died as a result of his sufferings at the time of the forced conversion of 1497. A Rabbi Moor, a Rabbi Moor, okay, a rabbi that's Jewish, right? Rabbi Moor, a Rabbi Moor. That was an official title. All right, so again, conclusions. Thanks to the brother again from Genesis 49ers YouTube channel right here for putting in a lot of the work in this.
I'm gonna have to go check out this brother's page, and see what's up with him. This Genesis 49ers brother, but this information right here is on point. I don't know about his doctrine. That's what Jake be messing up, but this information is on point.
Video, the information. He was actually letting people know about the Sephardic Jews and how they were being described. Again, conclusions, it says here Sephardic Jews of old were what? Reputed as being so-called black. The Sephardic Jews were sold as slaves and expelled from Spain and Portugal.
So what have the men of the Great Millstone and the other Hebrew Israelites been telling you all along? The Israelites went into slavery and got sold into slavery, including the Jews. And right here, I'm in Daniel, the 10th chapter. Because when you go back to Genesis, it said, let us make them in our image. All right? And so what did Esau do when he came into power? When the Renaissance was the rebirth of the dragon, the rebirth of Rome, the rebirth of Esau, Edom. He whitewashed history. Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, their job was to go throughout Europe, changing all the, putting chemicals on paintings, destroying all the noses and the lips off of a lot of the statues and the things to try and hide the fact to the world that, that these people of importance were indeed people of color. Okay, but they made so many of them still exist and couldn't be destroyed. And some of them, even though they destroyed the lips and noses, you can clearly see that was done. And that was done purposely. Those destroyed statues where everything's in place except the lips and nose. All right. That's the witness against them of their lies. All right. But this is Daniel 10 and 5. And it reads, Then I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a certain man clothed in linen, whose loins were girded about with fine gold of Uphaz. His body was like the beryl he had on the green garment, and his face like the appearance of lightning, and his eyes and lamps of lamps of fire, and his arms and feet like in color to the polished brass. You ever looked at a dark oxidated penny? That's what brass looks like, copper. Copper colored people. You ever hold something that's dark copper next to someone who's got brown skin that they refer to ignorantly as black? Okay. Yep, it says his arms and his feet, because a lot of people say the Lord's a spirit. Well, the Lord had a body, and this appearance of his color, all right, was like that to the polished brass, all right, to that dark penny, And the voice of his words were like the voice of a multitude. Let's let a little bit more play.
Their descendants were purported to be black. Remember, their descendants became a lot of them Dutch and Huguenots. They had various communities in the New World, Americas, which was originally black, until a large influx of white German and Eastern Jews immigrated to America.
And that's that letter that was written by, you can refer back to that letter in the 1751, that was written by Benjamin Franklin, all right, referring to the tawny black and copper flesh of the natives and the blacks and the Germans that were there, all right, back in Germany, and how they wanted to make it. He said they couldn't have our complexion, that pale complexion. How he wanted to make America pale or white. That newly created term of white, which came about in 1681 in Virginia, is when they first started using it in law and documents. Okay? So with that, once again, I hope this was informative and empowering, that it was edifying. Call halal Yahweh Shalom Shai by Hashem Rakak Wadash. Wa Abba Shalom.